What if I told you that a 20-year-old with empty pockets and a wheelbarrow full of borrowed bread would one day have a whole town calling him an inspiration? That's exactly where this story is going. It's called Nothing is Free, and it's not just here for your listening practice. By the end, it might actually change how you think about your own dreams. So let's get into it. In a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains, there lived a young man named Leo. He was 20 years old, and he had big dreams. Dreams of owning a whole chain of restaurants one day, of becoming a real entrepreneur. But dreams like that don't care whether your family can afford them. Leo's family was barely scraping by. His father, Mark, fixed cars for a living. His mother, Claire, cleaned houses to help make ends meet. And his little sister, Sophie, just 10 years old, looked up to Leo like he was already a hero, long before he'd done anything to earn it. One cold evening, Leo sat outside their small house, staring up at the stars, and whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life. But how do I even start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, he told his father about his dream. Mark let out a long sigh and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." That sentence stuck in Leo's head. And then an idea hit him. He'd noticed something obvious. The kind of thing everyone sees but nobody acts on. People in his town loved fresh bread, but the nearest bakery was far away, an inconvenient trip most people didn't bother making. What if he brought fresh bread straight to them? There was just one problem. Leo had no money to actually buy the bread, so he did something bold. He walked for miles to find the bakery's owner, a grumpy old man named Mr. Anderson who trusted almost nobody. Leo looked him straight in the eye and said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have the money to buy it up front. Can you trust me for 1 week? I'll sell it, bring your money back, and keep a small profit for myself." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow. "And why should I trust you, young man?" Leo answered without hesitation. "Because I'm determined, and I will work hard to prove myself." A long pause, then, finally, "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week. If you fail to pay me back, don't bother coming here again." Leo was thrilled. Early the next morning, he carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park, greeting every passerby with energy and a smile. Fresh bread, warm and delicious. People were hesitant at first. They didn't know if it was any good, so Leo handed out free samples and it worked. His first customer showed up, then another. By the end of the day, every loaf was sold, and there was a small profit in his hand. That evening, he paid Mr. Anderson back in full. The old man just nodded and said, "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." And that became the rhythm of Leo's life. Up at 4 in the morning, walk to the bakery, carry the bread, sell it with everything he had. After 2 months of this, he'd saved enough to buy a small cart, which meant he could carry and sell even more. Then one day, a customer said something that changed everything. "Leo, why don't you bake your own bread? You're clearly great at selling it, but if you baked it too, you'd keep so much more profit." The idea excited him. It also terrified him. He had never baked anything in his entire life. And this was the exact moment Leo understood something that would define the rest of his story. Nothing worth having comes free. Not success, not knowledge, not growth. If he wanted more, he'd have to take a real risk and actually learn. He couldn't shake the idea. If he could bake his own bread, he wouldn't need Mr. Anderson anymore, and his profits would grow. But there was still that one enormous problem. He had absolutely no idea how to bake. So Leo went straight back to Mr. Anderson and asked him to teach him. The old man frowned immediately. "Why would I teach you? If you learn to bake, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for my business." Leo didn't flinch. "You're right, but I won't forget the man who gave me my very first chance. If I succeed, I'll make sure I help your bakery too." Mr. Anderson thought about that for a long moment. "Fine," he said, "but baking isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and real hard work. If you're ready for that, I'll teach you." The lessons started at 3 in the morning, before the sun had even come up. Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, how to knead dough, how to bake it exactly right. And at first, Leo was terrible at it. His hands ached from kneading. His loaves came out either too hard or embarrassingly soft. One night, after ruining yet another batch, Leo sat down completely defeated. "Maybe I'm not good enough for this," he thought. "Maybe I should just give up." But then his father's words came back to him. Dreams are not free. Every failed loaf was still teaching him something. Giving up simply wasn't an option. So the next day, he went back with even more determination than before. He practiced every single step with total focus, and slowly, painfully slowly, his bread started to improve. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed him a loaf and said, "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready." Leo was overjoyed. He rented a small oven and started baking at home. His whole family watched in amazement. Sophie helped pack the bread. His mother made him tea while he worked late into the night. Soon he wasn't just selling bread anymore. He branched into cookies, then pastries. People in town started saying, "Leo's bread is better than anything we've ever had." Now, quick pause here, because this is actually a good moment for something I do myself. Every single day, without fail, I sit down and go through an English story just like this one, and I put it out here for you. Not because I have to, because that daily habit is genuinely the difference maker in all of this. We're building this together, a little every day, and a new episode drops here every single day too. So if you want your listening to click the way Leo's bread finally did, show up daily, not occasionally. And if you know someone else learning English, send this to them. Learning side by side speeds things up for both of you. Anyway, back to Leo, because things were about to get harder. Just when life seemed to be going his way, a brand new bakery opened in town, run by a young man named Eric. Eric's shop was big, polished, covered in colorful signs and decorations. People got curious, and they started buying from him instead. Leo watched his sales drop day after day, and fear crept in. What if he lost everything he'd worked so hard to build? But instead of panicking, Leo did something smarter. He asked his customers directly, "What do you like about Eric's bakery? What can I do better?" Some said Eric's shop just looked cleaner, prettier. Others said his cakes had beautiful designs, and Leo realized something important. He didn't just need to grow as a baker. He needed to grow as a businessman too. So he used his savings to paint his cart and add bright decorations. He started offering free samples of his new pastries. He even taught himself to decorate cakes by watching videos at the library. Slowly, customers came back. One evening, an elderly woman walked up to him and said, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's exactly why we trust you." Her words filled him with a kind of pride money can't buy. Months passed, and Leo's business kept growing. Eventually, he saved enough to rent a small shop, nowhere near as big as Eric's, but warm, welcoming, entirely his. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning before sunrise, he was up baking, opening the shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped run it. Sophie, now 11, loved chatting with customers, and Claire kept the books. But Leo knew, deep down, this still wasn't the end of the road. He wanted to reach more people, make his family prouder still, and prove, mostly to himself, that anything really is possible with enough hard work. Leo's Fresh Bakes was becoming the heart of the town, but life, as it turns out, wasn't finished testing him. One stormy night, as Leo was closing up, he noticed smoke curling out near the oven. He rushed in and found a small fire had started. He grabbed water and managed to put it out, but by the time it was over, much of his equipment was ruined. The next morning, word spread fast. Some townspeople whispered, "What will Leo do now?" Others said quietly, "Maybe this is the end for him." Leo felt heartbroken, but not defeated. He stood outside his damaged bakery and said, out loud, to no one in particular, "This is just a challenge. I've faced struggles before and I'll face this one too. I won't give up." He took a breath and started calculating what he had left, and quickly realized it wasn't nearly enough to replace everything. For a moment, real fear crept back in. But then he remembered exactly how far he'd already come, starting with nothing but a dream and 2 working hands. Instead of sitting there and worrying, Leo went looking for advice. He found Mr. Anderson, now retired, and asked him plainly, "Sir, what would you do if you were me?" Mr. Anderson smiled. "Leo, you already know the answer. You taught yourself that nothing is free. Work harder. Believe in yourself, and people will believe in you too." That was all Leo needed to hear. He didn't wait around for someone to save him. He started baking again at home with whatever equipment he had left. He told his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's a smaller batch for now." And the town noticed. People started helping. Some donated ingredients, others gave what little money they could spare, and a few simply showed up to help clean and repair the shop with their own hands. Leo learned something in that moment that stuck with him for good. When you work hard and refuse to quit, people notice. They want to help someone who's already helping themselves. After months of rebuilding, Leo reopened his bakery, better than it had ever been. Freshly painted walls, new decorations, and new items on the menu, cupcakes and muffins included. His customers were overjoyed. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor showed up and told him, "Leo, you are a true inspiration. You've shown all of us that with determination, anything is possible." Leo stood in front of the crowd and said, "I want to thank every single one of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free. Not success, not respect, not love. Everything has to be earned with hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you. Every challenge is just a step towards something greater." From that day forward, Leo's bakery wasn't just a place that sold bread. It became a symbol of hope. People from other towns started traveling in, just to meet the young man who refused to give up. So here's what Leo's story really teaches us. 1. Dreams are not free. They demand hard work and real sacrifice. 2. Failure isn't the end. It's a chance to learn and come back stronger. 3. Help yourself first, and when people see that effort, they'll show up to support you. And 4. Never give up, because the darkest moments often arrive right before the breakthrough. Leo didn't just build a bakery. He built a life full of purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, don't stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible. If this story hit you the way it hit me, tell me in the comments which part stuck with you the most. And if it inspired you even a little, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. A new episode is waiting here for you tomorrow. I'll see you in the next one.